Okay, good evening, citizens of Reverb. This is DK with Mr. V Amps, and we're looking at a 70s Fender Bassman 100. This amp has just been teched over, and it's in very good sonic health. All the pots have been cleaned, the tubes are young and healthy. It has 4 JJ6L6s, and the 12AT7 and 12AX7s are Shuguangs, and they sound very good. So we have our bass, and we're plugged into the bass channel. Mind you, I am an amp technician first and a musician second, but we'll play around with it a little bit just so you get an idea how it sounds. So we have the master volume on 5, and the preamp gain around 3, and the treble and bass controls at 5 on the bass instrument channel. So we're working just fine. This is hooked up to bass cabinets. These are Mr. V cabinets. I built these. There's a 410 here and a 115, but it doesn't matter. We're not blasting them because of the sake of the camera here, but we can blast them if we want to. We're just looking for function, so we can take our volume here, we can go down to 0, and we can turn it all the way up until something in the background chirps. I have a resonance going on with some other device in the house. Let's go with the treble control here, take it down to 0, and take it all the way up to 10. Works just fine, no crackles. And we'll do the bass control, take it down to 0, and all the way up to 10. Don't know if the camera can hear that, but that's definitely working properly and no crackles. And then the deep switch, we can put that in and get a little bit of an extra bass boost, kind of treble reduction here. So it sounds huge down here. I have no idea if the camera can hear it, but there's miscellaneous things around our shop that are chattering on a sympathetic resonance, so we have a lot of sound here coming from the bass channel. So that channel's good. The normal channel, I've used it with the bass, it works fine too, but you're supposed to use it with a guitar, so we'll go get a guitar. Okay, so we're still using bass cabinets, but we're plugged in with a guitar to the normal channel. We've got the gain volume at about 4, it seems appropriate for this guitar, and the master volume is still at 5, and the EQs, treble, middle, bass are all at about the halfway point. Bright switch is off. So working good there. We'll try bright. Should give us a little bit more treble on the top end. And it does. We'll take the treble, take that to 0, and put that up to max. And actually it sounds a little bit better at about 6 than 5. Mid-range. Take that to 0. That at max. Okay, put that about 5 it again. And the bass control, we'll take that down to 0. And then we'll put that at max. So everything on this amplifier works properly. It's, in my opinion, adequately loud and ready to go. We'll take a little walk around it cosmetically. We'll show you what we got, and then we'll go from there. During our demonstration, I neglected to turn the master volume all the way up and down, and that doesn't go pop either, or it doesn't make horrible crackly noises. Anyway, taking a look at our amplifier, I've had more beautiful looking amplifiers through the shop, but sonic wise this one is really good. If this were a person, this would be Susan Boyle from the X Factor fame. Not much to look at initially, but the voice is great. So we have a faceplate that is got some scratching. I have straightened it, tried to take some of the big dents out of it, and somebody's really put a good scuff right across the 100 there. That'll hopefully come through in the pictures. I apologize. I've cleaned as much dirt off of this as we can. The grill cloth there is actually not torn, thank heavens, and our manufacturer logo is in good shape. Come up to the top, our handle's good. Obviously the chrome isn't exactly pretty anymore. This is some mysterious tape mark. It did not scrub off. I don't know what's up with that. And the Tolex looks well rubbed, I guess you'd say, like something has kind of rubbed against it, but you know, at least it's not a shredded mess. Let's take a look at the back. Okay, the tour of the back of the amp. Again, the Tolex on the top, obviously there's some edge rubs here. It's really just been rubbed, like, you know, rubbed, and corners have kind of been buffed across surfaces. I did what we could to put everything back down, like around these curves and corners. There's some scuffing here, but we don't have anything flopping in the breeze at this time, so that's good. Still original screws. Back in the corner are two 12AX7s with their original covers, the 12A T7 with its original cover, and 4 shiny young JJ tubes there. This is a 3-prong cord model. It's a little later when they were doing that, and you see the 1N2 ground. That is what we used in the event that you did not have a ground. You've heard of the, you know, the ground switch on the old 60s ones that either had ground, you know, way 1 or 2. There wasn't a middle position for off. That's your death capacitor. So if you have a properly grounded outlet, just leave that in the middle. No need to mess with that. And we've got our standby and our on. This is expecting a 4 ohm load, which these two cabinets we were hooked up in, these are mine, I built them. Together they deliver the 4 ohm load for the amplifier. Underneath the doghouse and inside the amp, all the electrolytic caps have been replaced prior to the amp coming to my shop, but they've been replaced with Sprague Atoms, which are obviously a top shelf capacitor, and the person who was in there did a very good job. It's very artfully done. So despite the fact that this amp does have some miles on it visually, electrically, it's in excellent health. I'll just take a look on the bottom here. Again, we have a little bit more, especially along this edge here. We got some drag marks on the Tolex here, but we do have our clamping feet there for an official Fender Bassman cabinet. The clamping feet are still in position, and they're not bent, which is good. So this will conclude our look over of the Fender Bassman 100. It's a little like a mid-70s. It's seen a lot of time on the road and working, but through the help of a prior technician and myself, it is in very healthy shape. The electronics are all good, the voice is good, and it sounds real nice with no rattles or pops or weird noises. So, ready to go into service. Thanks for watching, and hope to contact you soon. Have a great day.